The film begins on an island where there is a huge colony. Here we see that their queen is a very old woman who has two daughters. One was named Princess Ada and the other was named Dot. Dot is still very young and her only wish is that learn to fly. There is going to be a huge responsibility on the princess because now she will be the next queen. All the food was here. All this food was telling the story for some grasshoppers because they ruled them very much and they had to collect food for them. Here we see an ad called Flick who liked to do very different kinds of experiments. But all the other ends did not get any special benefit from its experiment, but the opposite damage kept happening. This time the Flick creates a very large instrument that can be stacked with a lot of food. Along with this, he also makes a small telescope and he gives this telescope. She thinks Etta is useless and tells her to throw the flip and get out of there. At the same time, she comes and holds that telescope and then says, I have a lot of hope on your instrument that someday it will come in handy for us. Now at the same time, an alarm started ringing, which was because grasshoppers were going to come here. Everyone is afraid to go to their homes. Everyone goes here. He is left behind only because of his heavy machine. He starts taking the machine so that he first keeps his stored food with the rest of the food. But here, because of his machine, a stone falls and all of Sarah's food is washed away in the water. Here we find out that they have made a deal with the grasshopper that they will collect a lot of food twice a year, and in return, the grasshopper will keep them safe from large insects. Everyone in the colony was waiting for the grasshoppers to take their food and leave from here. When the grasshoppers do not find food there, they come inside the colony in anger. After which he says that if such food is not collected, we will destroy your colony. Neither will you protect the people, and now in return you will have to collect double food for us. Now the old queen comes here and tells him that we cannot do this. It's also going to rain and we haven't even gathered food for ourselves yet. The grasshopper tells the queen here that I will come again at the end of the season when the last leaf falls down, and if the double meal is not collected by then, we will end the treaty with you people, and after that, he leaves from here. Now the responsibility of this whole thing is put on Flick, that all the food was wasted because of him. Now that's why Flick is called for punishment, where he gets an idea again. He tells everyone that if we make a deal with big bucks to save us from the grasshopper from above, we will all be saved. Now this meant that they had to go out of the colony here to get the big boxes, and this meant suicide because there were a lot of birds outside and a lot of animals that ate the ants. But no one was ready to accept this. After which Philip says that I will go out and bring the big box so that he can protect us. Now the rest of the gut feels that this is a good way to get rid of the Flick. He did not bring back the big box, but he will go away from here. It's good for them. After which the Flake binds all its stuff and comes out to turn it off. Dot and his friends arrive. They was sure that Flick would succeed in this work. Now we see the bug city, which was built under a trailer. There were a lot of different types. Here some bugs had opened a circus. He hasn't been here for a long time. Because of this, the owner of the circus removes them from the job. When Fleck also reaches here, he is very excited to see the world here, that it is a completely different world. After this, he tries to ask for help with a very big box, but no one pays attention to him or listens to him. Now on the other side, the same circus box was sitting sad because he had lost his job, and here he could not understand how to find a new job. These bugs were lost in the thought that a few more bugs come, after which a fight broke out between them. Now this thing was someone else, but when he saw the Flick here, he thought that this was the fighter bug who could come and save them. Here Affleck says, help me. Now all the other bugs, without listening to his whole thing, understand that maybe Flick is offering him a job, and without listening to the whole thing, they say yes to Flick. After which all these people together start coming back to the colony, where all the other aides were again busy collecting food. They now had to double up on food. For the grasshopper here, the Dot sees from the same telescope that Flick is coming from far away with some bugs. He can't believe Flick is back. As soon as these people start landing, all the other ends start hiding here to see what is happening. He felt that Shahid was getting dangerous big bugs. But here Flicks calls out to everyone to come and get these big boxes. All the intestines are very happy to see that now we will be saved from those grasshoppers. Here it is very impressive with the Flick and how he also brought such a big box with him. Now in this joy, there is a party at night, in which the little ones show them how these big bugs will have to fight with the grasshopper, and in such a situation, some big bugs may also die. Now all the bugs panic when they hear that this is not a job. There's a battle going on here. Everyone was also very impressed with Flix and was saying thank you to him because he made everyone's difficulty easier. Here Flix was thanking everyone by saying that he comes to a big buck Flick and tells in his ear that we are not fighter bugs, we are circus bugs. Now after this, Flix gets a lot of tension, after which he takes them all to the side by asking for a secret meeting and tries hard to stop them. But they don't listen to him and say we are going. We are not here to fight. After this, these people start descending from that island, and then Flick starts hanging out with one of the big bugs. He sees them, after which he starts following the Flick, hanging from a very large flower. When Bug sees how Flick is clinging to him, he comes down to rescue Flick. Here Flick suddenly sees a bird's nest, and he starts running away from here, fearing that there is a bird here and it will eat us. Suddenly, the bird also comes here and starts running behind them. Dot was also flying with a flower in the air to eat them, and now the bird comes to her. He starts falling, leaving that flower, fearing to eat it. All the NCs from distant islands were watching, but they could not help. Here, before falling to the ground, one of the big bugs, ladybugs, comes and grabs Dot, after which the bird starts running after them. Now here, both of them hide in a track inside the ground. The ladybug gets badly injured while landing, after which, the bird was still trying to eat them. From far away, an idea comes, after which he tries to relieve the tension in the bird by lifting the caterpillar. When the bird sees them, it starts coming towards them, leaving them there. After which, Flick tries to take out both of them with the rest of the big box. These two now take out Dot and that ladybug from there, and here they hide in the bushes, and there the bird could not go in because there were so many thorns. In this way, all these people survive and become heroes in the eyes of everyone else. The rest of them treat the ladybug, after which she tells Affleck that Curry is also going to be the queen now. After this, they have to get rid of the grasshopper in some way. Here, Philip gets the idea that grasshoppers are as afraid of birds as we are of birds. After this, he gives the idea to the big bugs that we have to make a fake bird and hide it in a plant of our kernel. Flick gives the idea to Etta. After that, all the other intestines also agitate, and in the next few scenes, we see how these people are making a fake bird together, and in this way, it becomes a very realistic looking bird. After that, they hide it in a hole on top of a tree so that it can be used whenever needed. Next, we see a colony of grasshoppers. He had also started working with mosquitoes. Here, the brother of the leader of the grasshopper is shown, who was very stupid. His friends give him the idea that we have a lot of food. We do not need to go to the colony anymore. And he also agrees to this and says that it is okay. I will talk to the leader. After that, he goes to his leader brother and tells him that now we do not need to go there. The leader gets very angry at this and scolds his brother, saying that their strength is in the unity of the end. And if we stop scaring them, they will never be afraid of us and will not do any of our work. And I don't want that at all, so we have to keep scaring them and keep getting them to work. After this, he tells all the other grasshoppers, let's go to a colony. On the other hand, we see in the colony how Sorry Ann is celebrating. They were all very happy to finally get rid of him. It tells all the other big bugs that if you want to go now, you can go because all the work has been done. After this, they say, big bugs, no, we do not want to leave. Now they have some sound. A light was visible in the distance. They think that maybe the grasshoppers are coming. Now it's all ready for the fight that now these people will come to the grasshopper. We have to fight them. But grasshoppers don't come here. This was the same circus where these big bugs used to work earlier. Their owner wanted to take them back to the circus. Here, when they realize that these big bugs are not fighter bugs but are about to work in the circus, All the agents are very nervous that we made a mistake by believing in the Flick. They will not be able to save us from the grasshopper. They only work in the circus. With them, Sarah gets very angry about how she trusted Flick and how we were going to fight Grasshopper for their trust. After this, Abby tells Flick that you guys should go away from here and tells Flick not to come back now. Now after this, the Queen orders everyone to collect as much food as possible, because, in such a way, the grasshoppers will kill us. Now let us see that the last leaf has also fallen. After that, they knew that the grasshopper was going to go. When the grasshoppers reached here, they saw that there was no food at all. On top of this, the leader gets very angry, after which he starts capturing all the other ends. Here, she catches small swans and hides them in her club. Here, Dot learns from the words of some grasshoppers that after taking food, the leader is going to kill the queen. She gets very nervous about this and goes out there to seek help. After which he starts running away by hitting a grasshopper. He follows the grasshopper. Running away from that grasshopper, the race tries very hard to fly in some way. The weak wings of that poor man do not support him. Here she reached a stone in front of which there was a ditch. Here he comes the grasshopper and pushes the Dot, after which it falls. That grasshopper seems to be dead. But after he leaves, here we see how the Dot has started flying. Here she flies and reaches near to Flick, and he tells her the whole story. After listening to Todd, Flick realizes that he is the regent of all these issues. And that's why I travel so much. Here he becomes very depressed and is not at all confident that he will be able to help. After this, we explain to all the other bugs that we have to go and help him. Now Flick, after this, love happens. Here they knew that the owner of the circus would not let them go. After which one of these spider bugs captures him. They take the bus back. Arriving there, Flick looks through his telescope to see how the Blood and Ada are locked separately there. After this, he makes a plan and tells the rest of the boxes that take the circus van to the leader and start your circus here to entertain them so that his attention is removed, and this happens. Here, showing the circus trick, these people also free the Blood Ada. On the other hand, the Flick reaches the bird together with the Dot and some others. All the other Ada queens also see that the Flick has reached that bird. After this, they release this bird so that they can scare Sarah. Here, when the leader finds out that Queen and Ada are missing, he gets very angry. Here suddenly, when he sees the bird coming from above, there is panic everywhere. The rest pretends that it is a real bird. It also acts. It's good that they're so scared. Here the grasshopper sets the bird on fire. But this was not the real bird, due to which the truth comes in front of sorrow. When the Flick comes out from inside, the leader gets very angry about how it tried to fool us. He kills Flick too much and thinks that I kill him so that there will be an example in front of everyone that we will be cheated. Then this will be the end. Then Flick stands up and says that we are such a great unity, and if we get together, that you will not be able to rule us. When a leader looks around, there are many faces. After which he gets a little nervous and suddenly it starts raining here, due to which they start going to their respective houses. The leader of the grasshopper takes advantage of this and starts picking up the Flick from here. All the other bugs followed her to get rid of the Flick, and there were a lot of plants in the middle, due to which she could not follow. Now here suddenly Ada comes and flies and saves the Flick. These people are going down. Here's another idea. He tells Ada to take me to the same bird's nest. Here Ada leaves him, and here Grasshopper reaches. When the bird is seen from above, he thinks that maybe this is also a fake bird, after which he does not pay attention, and this bird catches the leader of that grasshopper and feeds his children. After this, we see that this very sunny day has now become Ada Queen here, and Ada and Fleck are also a couple. Click helped a lot to the rest of the fans with their good experiments, and their colony became very good. All the other bugs go back to the circus. The brother of the leader of the Eons Grasshopper, who was a little groom, joins them, and thus the movie ends with this happy ending.